Welcome to Twins World, all about parenting. Today we are going to discuss very crucial and neglected topic, that is slow learners. Slow learners are children who we describe them when their ability of thinking is much slower than his or her peers or classmates. Usually this is unnoticed. When we were children also, there can be slow learners in a class, whereas no one has noticed. But now science has developed, the psychology has developed, child developmental, the classes are developed, whereas the teachers or the psychologists are able to identify who slow learners are. Obviously, it is stressful for parents when their children is not able to cope up with the studies or any kind of issues what they're going through. We may really think the children are not having marks or not able to cope up because they are not putting any kind of effort. But when we start spending time with this kind of children, they're really putting efforts, but the answer sheet or their oral exams are not able to come up with the efforts what they are bringing there. If you see the characteristics of slow learners, first thing is they can have learning issues. The speed or the time they take to learn is much more than the average caliber children. More than that, their attention span can be very less. If you see the other things, that the child is not able to link what they study. Suppose something we learn in physics, chemistry, maths, so we can link and relate our education even though it's the different type of science we are learning, but it is difficult for this kind of children. So we need to understand this is a problem the child is really facing. Sometimes as parents we forget and we tend to beat them so that they will concentrate more and understand the facts. Another characteristics of slow learners are they have social issues, like they lack judgment, they can be immature, and they can be aggressive for very petty things, whereas the child is not able to have any kind of self-control. So this kind of children may find it difficult to adjust with the society. Most of the cases it becomes like an iceberg, whereas majority of the problem is not seen by even by the parents or the loved ones. These people also can have hearing issues, maybe something to do with their eyes, where the child is not able to understand the question. If we ask some question, the child may answer something else. So it is not the child knowingly doing this kind of mistake. More than that, if you ask some kind of dictation, the child may not come up with the right spellings. So this also shows that child has some kind of disabilities. Moreover, the child can have handwriting issues. Their handwriting can be very poor. Moreover, some of the children have speaking disabilities. So these are also a category of children, whereas their physical activity or physical character is disturbed, thereby the child becomes slow in the learning activities. Now let's see how to tackle this kind of slow learners. Slow learners is very common even in the school settings or the colleges or wherever we are studying, teaching or wherever. First thing, it will be good if we identify this kind of slow learners at the earliest age. And as a mother or father, he or she needs more attention than the average intelligent children or the moderate children in the class. Second thing, what we can think about of dealing this kind of children is make a table where there is a quiet environment is there and not much things are there where these kind of children can be distracted very easily. So we can be with the child, we can provide a quiet environment, and they can have a table with less articles on it so that the child can concentrate on what he is supposed to be. As a teacher, as a mother, as a father, While teaching this kind of children, it will be good to ask them questions very frequently. This is not because that we need to ask question, it is just because the child can be distractive and the child is not having an adequate the attention span. So we can prevent the distraction from what they are learning by asking the questions. Moreover, when you ask questions to the child when they are in the learning process, this helps the child to think more on the topic and come up with questions. When the child comes up with questions, we can give answers so that that will be memorized by the child. Give small tasks when we are assigning work to these children, because as I mentioned before that these children are having very less attention span. Moreover, our accessibility for this kind of children is very important because they need help and they are not that mentally calibered, and it is our responsibility to make them stand straight, even though we need to work for a little more than maybe our elder child or the younger one. As a mother or father or a teacher, I should never give up on my child. By the end of my life, it is not what I reach in my career or my education will label who am I. Moreover, what my child is really brings up as a parent how much I have put in my child. So never give up, even though he takes maybe couple more days than a normal child. Another important point we need to understand in this particular dealing with this kind of children is don't label them. Labeling them like you're not good for anything, why are you for this particular course, who gave you admission, you're not going to do a good job once you're going out of this course. Avoid this kind of topic, because we are no one to judge the future of anyone, because how much ever you study or how less you study, we really don't know where future takes up. So it will be good to avoid labeling this kind of children. Moreover, be patient while dealing with slow learners. It is not an easy task. As a mother, father, teacher, it is a tedious task because you are pouring out your effort, your time, your abilities to make them learn, and by the end of the day, when they write in the question paper, if you're not coming up with good marks or if they are not writing what you're expecting them to write, it hurts you. But as parents, as teachers, my patience will be improving, my perseverance will be improving by taking care of slow learners. It is always understand, it is not appreciable if a highly calibered child is getting good marks. You are well appreciated when a child with low intelligence is able to cope up with normally or average intelligent children. Hope you got a glimpse about who are slow learners and how we can manage them as mother, father or teacher while dealing with this kind of children. Till we meet up with another important topic, stay happy and stay safe. Thank you.